Welcome to Ease English Podcast.
Are you ready to order? Pause. I swear, Jimmy, those are the 5 scariest words in the English language when you are traveling. You are staring at a menu, you don't know what half the words mean, the waiter is staring at you with a pen, and your mind just completely goes blank.
The restaurant panic. It is a very real, very universal experience, Anna. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Anna. Welcome to the Ease English Podcast. Today, we are conquering the restaurant. We are going to walk you through a meal from the moment you open the door to the moment you pay the bill, so you can order food like a native speaker.
And for our friends learning English with us right now, listen closely to how Anna and I phrase our sentences today. In a restaurant, native speakers rarely use perfectly formal textbook grammar. We use a lot of chunks, small, polite phrases that we repeat constantly. Learning these chunks through our conversation today will make your next dinner out completely stress-free.
Exactly. Just absorb the rhythm. So, Jimmy, let's talk about the panic. Why is ordering food in a second language so terrifying? It's just food.
It has to do with something psychologists call the spotlight effect. When the waiter walks up to your table, the conversation stops. Suddenly, you're the center of attention. Your brain perceives this as a high-pressure performance. Combine that with a hungry stomach, which lowers your blood sugar and makes you irritable, and it's the perfect recipe for anxiety. Your brain literally drops its language skills to protect itself.
Oh my gosh, the hungry anxiety is so real. We call that being hangry, hungry and angry.
Exactly. So to beat the spotlight effect, we need a script. We need to know exactly what to say so our brain doesn't have to work so hard. Let's start at the very beginning. You open the restaurant door. You walk in. What is the first thing the host or hostess says to you?
Usually they smile and say, "Hi, do you have a reservation?"
Right. A reservation means you called ahead to save a table. But let's say we didn't do that. Let's say we are just walking in off the street. Anna, how do we ask for a table naturally?
Oh, this is easy. Don't say, "We want a table for 2 people." It sounds a little robotic. Instead, hold up 2 fingers, smile, and say, "Hi, just a party of 2, please?" Or even simpler, "Hi, table for 2?"
Party of 2. That's a great phrase. In the restaurant world, your group is called your party. A party of 4, a party of 6. It sounds incredibly natural. Now, what if the restaurant is completely full?
Ooh, then you have to deal with the wait list. The host will say something like, "I'm sorry, we don't have any tables right now. It's going to be about a 20-minute wait."
And here is where you use a great native phrase to ask if you can just wait at the bar. You can say, "No problem. Can we grab a drink at the bar while we wait?"
Grab a drink. We use the word grab constantly in English, don't we?
We do. Grab literally means to take something quickly with your hand, but in conversational English, it just means to get. Let's grab a table. Let's grab some coffee. It sounds very relaxed and friendly.
Okay, so 20 minutes pass, our table is ready. The host walks us through the restaurant. And sometimes, Jimmy, they try to put me right next to the kitchen door or right next to the bathroom, and I hate it. How do I politely ask for a better seat?
You have to ask before you sit down. If you see a comfortable seat against the wall, the ones with the long padded benches, you can point and ask, "Could we actually grab a booth?"
Booth, yes. A table is just chairs in the middle of the room, but a booth is the cozy seating against the wall. Okay, so we grabbed a booth, we're sitting down, the menus are in our hands, and immediately, within 10 seconds, the waiter appears.
The drink order, phase 1 of the restaurant test.
Yes, and they always ask the same tricky question. Would you like still or sparkling water? Jimmy, when I first traveled to Europe, this confused me so much.
It's a classic difference. Still water is flat, normal water. Sparkling water has bubbles. But here's the secret for our listeners visiting North America. If you want free water, you don't say still. You say, "Just tap water, please."
Yes, tap water comes straight from the sink, it's filtered, it has ice, and it is 100% free. If you just say water, sometimes they will bring you a very expensive glass bottle of still water and charge you $8 for it.
Exactly. Always specify tap water if you don't want to pay for a bottle. Now, after the water, the waiter will usually ask, "Can I start you off with anything else to drink? A cocktail, some wine?"
Start you off. That's a phrasal verb.
It is. To start off means to begin the experience. They want to know what you want right now, before the food. If you just want your tap water, you give them a friendly smile and use this exact chunk. No thanks, we're good with just water for now.
We're good with just water for now. That is perfect. It's polite, it's confident, and it tells the waiter to go away for a few minutes so you can actually read the menu.
But what if you open the menu and there are 50 different dishes and you have no idea what to choose? You're experiencing choice paralysis. The waiter comes back. He asks those 5 scary words. Are you ready to order? Anna, how do we buy more time without sounding rude?
Oh, my favorite phrase. I look up and say, actually, we need a few more minutes if that's okay. We're still looking things over.
Looking things over, another brilliant phrasal verb. It means you're still reading and deciding. It takes the pressure off you and it turns off that spotlight effect in your brain. The waiter will just say, take your time and walk away.
The pressure is gone. We have our tap water, we're sitting in our booth, the waiter has walked away, and we finally have time to look at the food.
But Anna, looking at the menu is only half the battle, because when that waiter comes back, they aren't just going to ask what you want, they're going to ask how you want it. Side salads, dressings, meat temperatures, the questions are endless.
Oh no, the follow-up questions.
Don't panic. We're going to give our listeners the exact cheat sheet they need to answer every single one of them.
But we'll do that in just a moment. Listeners, take a deep breath, grab a sip of your tap water, and when we come back, we're going to order the main course. Welcome back to the Ease English podcast. If you are just joining us, Anna and I are currently sitting in a cozy restaurant booth. We have our tap water, we looked at the menu, and the waiter is walking back toward our table. Here he comes, Jimmy. Look busy.
He walks up and says, "All right, what can I get for you today?" Anna, this is the moment of truth. How do we actually order the food without sounding like a robot?
Well, the biggest mistake English learners make here is translating directly from their native language and saying, I want the chicken.
Right. I want sounds a little bit demanding in English. It sounds like a child talking to their parents. We need to soften it.
Exactly. So instead of I want, native speakers use 3 magic phrases. You can say, I'll have the chicken. You can say, I'd like the chicken, please. Or my personal favorite, because it sounds so casual, I'll do the chicken.
I'll do the is incredibly common in North America. I'll do the burger. I'll do the Caesar salad. It sounds effortless. But here's where the waiter traps you. You say, I'll do the burger. And the waiter fires back with a follow-up question. And how would you like that cooked?
Ugh, the meat temperatures. This used to stress me out so much. Jimmy, can you break down the scale for us?
Gladly. If you are ordering a steak or a thick burger, they need to know how much to cook the inside. The scale goes from red to brown. If you want it red and cool inside, you say rare. If you want it mostly pink and warm, you say medium rare.
And what if I just want it perfectly in the middle? Pink, but definitely cooked.
Then you order it medium. A little bit of pink is medium well. And if you want absolutely no pink inside at all, you order it well done.
And if you order a steak well done, the chef might cry a little bit in the kitchen.
They just might, but it's your food. So you survived the temperature question, but the waiter isn't finished. Now they ask about the sides. They say, that comes with fries or a side salad. Which would you prefer?
And here is a great vocabulary word. What if I don't want fries or a salad? What if I really want the mashed potatoes? I can ask to substitute.
Yes, substitute. To trade one thing for another. You say, can I substitute the fries for mashed potatoes?
Or if you're ordering that salad, but you don't want it swimming in dressing, you can use the best restaurant phrase ever. Can I get the dressing on the side?
On the side. That means they bring the dressing in a tiny little cup and you pour it yourself. You can ask for anything on the side. Sauce on the side, cheese on the side. It gives you total control.
Okay, we placed the order, we used I'll do the, we substituted our sides, we got our sauce on the side, the waiter takes the menus and leaves.
Fast forward 20 minutes. The food arrives, it looks beautiful, but... Anna, you take a bite of your chicken and it is completely cold, or maybe it has tomatoes on it and you specifically asked for no tomatoes.
Oh no, the confrontation phase.
It happens all the time. But in many cultures, sending food back is considered incredibly rude. So English learners will just sit there and eat food they hate because they're too afraid to speak up. How do we complain politely?
You use the sandwich method. You put the problem in the middle of two very polite phrases. You wave the waiter over, just a small hand raise, don't snap your fingers, and you start with an apology. You say, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you."
Perfect start. Then you state the problem objectively. Don't say you messed up. Just state the fact. I actually asked for no tomatoes, but this has tomatoes on it.
And the polite finish, "Could I possibly get a new one?"
That is flawless. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but this is actually quite cold. Could you heat it up for me? The waiter will instantly apologize and fix it. There's no anger, no stress. Just a polite correction.
Okay, crisis averted. We eat our delicious, hot, tomato-free meal. We're totally full. The waiter comes back to the table and looks at our empty plates. They usually ask, "Are you still working on that?"
Working on that. This is a funny English idiom. We treat eating like a job. If you're still eating, you say, yes, I'm still working on it. If you're finished, what do you say, Anna?
I usually rub my stomach and say, "No, I'm absolutely stuffed. You can take it." Stuffed means I couldn't eat another bite even if you paid me.
And if you're stuffed, but you still have half a burger left on your plate, you don't want to throw it away.
You ask for a box. You just say, "Could I get a box for this?" Or "Could I get this to go?" They'll bring you a little cardboard container so you can take it home.
In the old days, people used to call it a doggy bag, pretending they were taking the food home for their dog. But today, just asking for a box is perfectly fine.
We made it, Jimmy. The final boss of the restaurant experience, the bill.
The check. How do we get out of here, Anna?
Well, sometimes the waiter just drops it on the table. But if they don't, you make eye contact, smile, and say, "We're ready for the check whenever you are." Or, "Could we get the bill, please?"
Check and bill mean the exact same thing in a restaurant. And if you're far away from the waiter, there's a universal hand gesture. You just catch their eye, hold up your hand, and pretend to sign a piece of paper in the air with an invisible pen.
It's so true. The invisible signature. It works in almost every country. Now, Jimmy, what if you and I want to pay separately? I pay for my chicken, you pay for your burger.
You need to ask the waiter to split the check, and you should ask this before they print the receipt. When you ask for the bill, just say, "Could we actually split the check today?" Or, "Can we pay separately?" They will happily bring two machines.
And just like that, you tip your waiter, you walk out the door, and you survived. Let's do a quick recap of the goldmine phrases we learned today. When ordering, don't say, "I want," say, "I'll do the," or "I'll have the."
If you want to change a side dish, ask to substitute. If you want your sauce separate, ask for it on the side.
If you need to complain, use the sandwich method. "Excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you, but..."
If you're completely full, you're stuffed. And when you're ready to leave, ask to split the check. The next time you go out to eat, try using just one of these phrases. It will immediately make you sound more natural, and it will drop your anxiety down to zero.
We would love to hear from you. What is the hardest part about ordering food in English for you? Is it the fast speaking, the menu words, or the follow-up questions? Tell us in the comments.
Thanks for joining us for this two-part special, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ease English podcast.
We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
Take care.